This is the Tree of Life, Season 1, Chapter 4. In this episode, we will be talking about the biological complements of archetypal consensuality and spatial non-consensuality, and introducing a new study of economics, arising out of the telescopic effect. To start out, since epigenetic profiles maintain body homeostasis, what we can see is that archetypal consensuality and spatial non-consensuality arise out of distinct equilibriums of body homeostasis, generated by distinct epigenetic profiles. Specifically, we can see that spatial non-consensuality is associated with a faster thyroid, hypothyroidism, as opposed to archetypal consensuality, for which the equilibrium is associated with hypothyroidism. Since we know that particular enzymes generate epigenetic modifications, and since steroid and thyroid hormones increase enzyme production, we can see that spatial non-consensuality is produced by higher rates of encoding of new epigenetic modifications. Which is to say, that spatial non-consensuality represents a disruption of the archetypal consensual status quo epigenetic profile by encoding of new epigenetic information. Archetypal consensuality is linked to hypothyroidism, a maintenance or reliance upon a status quo epigenetic profile, which is common amongst lineal lines, generating reciprocal altruism. Since we also know that the breathing techniques described in this podcast describe a reset of the status quo epigenetic profile, manifesting as spatial non-consensuality, this disruption of the archetypal consensual epigenetic profile represents new encoding of epigenetic information. This occurs due to anaerobic respiration associated with glycolysis, which is upregulated in the skeletal muscles by expression of the Y chromosome in patrilineal lines. The higher Y chromosomal expression then increases testosterone production, which is linked to hypothyroidism. From all of this we can see that the telescopic effect, manifesting as the stacking of objects of social emotional relevance of linearly related individuals, which produces optimization of decision-making in generation of supply chains, arises out of the reciprocal altruism inherent to archetypal consensual lineal lines. This means that common epigenetic profiles, which produce phenotypic recognition, is only part of the process. The other part arises out of the actual stacking of perceptual experiences associated with the representation of a local linearly related individual's objects of consciousness, as symbolically linked to the global individual. But the implications of this linking are profound. The reciprocal altruism of linearly related individuals of archetypal consensuality manifests as reciprocation of substitution and displacement events, which determines a homeostatic equilibrium characterized by hypothyroidism, low epigenetic encoding, maintenance of a lineal epigenetic profile within a lineal line. In effect, I imagine that economic theories regarding supply chains could be united with genetic studies of reciprocal altruism and psychological, conceptual explorations of the telescopic effect, generating optimization of decision-making amongst lineal relations, according to archetypal consensuality. That's the end of the podcast for today.